What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one and the only Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, happy Monday. How was your weekend, my good old buddy?
Oh, not so bad. You know, I've tried out a couple games that, I really wasn't sure what to make much of. There's something on Game Pass now, Shenzhen. I think that's how it's pronounced. Shenzhen.io. It's quite interesting. It's kind of like drawing circuitry and programming small machinery, which might sound quite dry to some people, and it kind of is, but I went to school for some of that, so kind of jogging my memory.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Yo, I jumped in. My wife and I jumped into what super racing turbo racing golf game, whatever.
Oh, I did.
Dude,
try one of those.
It is Rocket League ripoff. Like, yo, I'm like, future lawsuit coming. I don't know, but it is literally, dude. The controls. It is literally Rocket League, but it is a golf game, and your objective of the game is to be the fastest one down with the shortest amount of time to get it into this beam of light, and then it sucks up the ball, and then that's the course. But that is it. But it is so Rocket League. It is nuts. I was like, wow. Dude, even like from the boost
people
jump,
are really good at it already.
But you know how like you do that boost jump roll, like to take off and stuff. Dude, it's all there. Like it is literally all Rocket League. Wow, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, well, you've seen Smash Brothers clones. Hello, multiverses. Just say it right there. So maybe they're okay. I don't know. I'm hoping you guys don't get in trouble. Like I think the game is cool, but we'll see if we stick around. I don't see me sticking around. I honestly just want to play Rocket League.
Hey, I'm always down for Rocket League if you do happen to cross that line.
Such a solid game, though, isn't it? Like that is a fun game, man. It's one.
There's nothing like it.
Well, you can go back to it, and it just picks up, and yeah, except for this one. Dude, good point. That's it. Yeah, but it's easy. Pick up, play, have a great time, and then you can bounce it for like a month or two, or even longer if you want. And then all of a sudden, what do you guys want to play? Oh, let's play Rocket League. Boom, and you're right back in, and it's just fun chaos the entire time. But Scott, let's get where people can join us over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG. But if you can't join us live, just like Nate is right now, your Doom guide over on Twitch. Hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. What's up, Nate? Yo, let's get into today's show. Red Dead Redemption actor addresses rumors of a remake. Continuing with rumors, Eidos Montreal would like to revisit an oldish franchise and bring it back. And PlayStation had a survey at Evo, the biggest fighting tournament around, asking about everyone's thoughts on NFTs. We'll get into that one.
I have some thoughts on that.
I know you do. This is going to be a hot show today, Scott. Let's get started, buddy. It's Red Dead Redemption actor addresses remake rumors. Comes from Cade over comicbook.com. Red Dead Redemption actor Rob, how do you say his last name, Scott? I was leaving that one up to you.
Wythoff.
I
think it's that would be.
I was close. I was close.
Wythoff, maybe?
I will take that. The man responsible to bringing John Marston. Legendary game with John Marston. It's just fantastic. There's a point you kind of think the game ends, and it doesn't. It just keeps going. But either way, he addresses the rumors of a remake of the 2010 game. Dude, 2010. That's how old that is. 12 years.
Holy.
I know. The next Grand Theft Auto, the Red Dead. Next to Grand Theft Auto, the Red Dead series is one of the most successful franchises Rockstar has under its belt. The beloved Western franchise takes the open world gameplay Rockstar is known for and meshes it in an incredibly deep, emotional, character-driven story. Without a doubt. Dude, it is fantastic. The franchise has been praised for its writing and storytelling, as well as its incredible technical achievements. With its 2018 sequel, dude, there is not a game to this date, I think, that looks any better still to this day as Red Dead Redemption 2. The ripples through the water, the fact that you can see through the water, and then the details within the pebbles, the rocks, it is gorgeous. I've stopped, I don't know how many times, I just looked at the scenery. It is nuts.
Well, you can just look up in the sky in that game. If you haven't done that yet, here's the good hint. Go ahead and look at the sky. You'd be surprised at just how much you'll see.
It is crazy. Dude, wait till a lightning storm strikes. It is amazing. Yeah. With the major gameplay and graphical leaps in Red Dead Redemption 2, many have been asking for a remake of the first game with those same features. For a time, Rockstar was reportedly brief briefly just considering and planning a remake for Red Dead Redemption, something fans were eager for. Sadly, yeah, here comes the disappointing news, though, Scott. A recent report stated that the poor performance of GTA Trilogy and the focus on Grand Theft Auto 6 means that Red Dead Redemption Remake won't be happening anytime soon. None of this has been confirmed by Rockstar in any capacity, though it comes with relatively reputable sources. During an interview with YouTuber Dan Allen Gaming, John Martian actor Rob commented on the rumors of a Red Dead Redemption remake, noting that he'd love for it to happen, but has no idea if it will. Quote, I would love for it to happen, end quote. Quote, I don't know. I would love an opportunity to work with Rockstar Games again, whether it be in remastering something or something totally different. I don't know. I can't really say enough good things about Rockstar. If they do that, great. That would be awesome, end quote. Scott, with the transition now in the move over into Grand Theft Auto 6 being the high focus over there for Rockstar, what are the likeliness of us actually seeing a Red Dead 1 remake anytime?
I think that's still seems like it's so far away, almost like the end of a console generation. Yeah. If it were to come back, because they're going to redo it in Unreal 5, and I imagine there's a huge amount of work associated with that. Yeah, sure. That would be, you have to catch this up from 2010 kind of technology. That's no small undertaking.
No, like it looked great back then, but dude, that was like a PS3, Xbox 360 title, right? Like that's going way back. So for us to now to get it transitioned up to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, everybody now in the industry really kind of transitioning from Unreal Engine 4 or even their own engine and switching over into Unreal Engine 5. We just saw CD Projekt Red drop their own engine and move into Unreal Engine 5, allowing them to free up some of their workload and move everything over and not have to worry about their own engine to kind of complicate the matters, right? Maybe that will helpfully adjust and make things move a little bit sooner and quicker. We've seen a big rise to an AI development that is seemingly starting to kind of take a lot of things by storm. We'll see how that goes. I wonder if that plays any of this at all.
I want one of the possibly the best dumb AI scenario. Where's Undead Nightmares 2? Coming to Red Dead Redemption 2? Why don't we just draw the line there? 2010 was too far away. Let's just spruce up the current one we have.
Dude,
update Red Dead Redemption 2 in some capacity once more.
Wow, but that's it. They said they're stopped anything on that. Even the online component, they left the whole community out there to dry now and just kind of die out in the Western atmosphere of just might as well just put us out in front of a train track and run us over. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what's going on right now with Red Dead, and it's really unfortunate because they have an opportunity here. The people are looking and hungry for something in the world of Red Dead. Then why not just kind of keep something afloat, keep something alive, and keep it going? And they could have done that with the online component, or even announcing that the fact that they are remaking the original. But we saw, dude, such a tragic turn of events with the with the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy remake that it suffered so many improvements, and it actually looked worse in some cases.
Yeah, in almost all capacities, it was not the definitive edition as it was titled.
Isn't that shocking?
Oh, it is to me, because Rockstar seems like one of the best remake kind of games companies there is out there. The amount of times they've repackaged 5.
Oh, that's yeah.
Makes me disappointed they don't have Red Dead 1 again on the shelf already.
Well, the thing is, it's been so long too. I'd probably play it, to be honest. I don't typically go back to play old games.
I would love to.
But yeah, it's one of those titles. It was so magical at the time. I'd like to go back and relive John's story once again, but it doesn't sound like that's going to happen at all.
At the time, and it was such a good thing, but it's nowhere near what we're used to with Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2 is almost so big, it's intimidating.
What was I at 200 and some odd hours in that game by the time I was done? There's a lot of online component in there too. There's a lot of posseing up and hanging out and doing all that kind of stuff with friends and things like that. But at the same time, dude, the story was it was massive. But it was so gratifying to finish it too. It was one of those moments like, there's the credits. Look at that. There, I did it, right?
There's some good bar fights in that game too.
Dude. I crushed Nate that day. He had no clue I was coming in at him.
I laughed so hard.
It's just moments out of nowhere that happen, and especially in a Rockstar game. I think that's one of the biggest highlights coming from the company, right? They just present you with opportunities, and yeah,
Oh yeah,
dude, I laughed. Wow, did we laugh? It was so much fun. But dude, let's get into some more rumors as Eidos Montreal wants to work on Deus Ex again. Oh, yo, let's go. Bring it. Because I could definitely go for some more Deus Ex. Comes from David over at PSU. Eidos Montreal was recently acquired by Embracer Group. Which I'm thinking now at this point is probably a good thing, Scott, honestly, right?
seems like well, they can maybe reinvigorate some of this kind of production, bring this old dormant thing down. When was the last? Was that Human Revolution? That was the second game, I think, or at least the second console game.
Second game was Mankind Divided, and that was 2016. Human Revolution was 2011, I want to say. So
I think that's
quite the gap.
Near,
yeah, that's a huge gap, right? And thanks to the studio is now hopeful it will be able to work on Deus Ex again. At least that's what Jeff Grubb is saying. The man with all the leaks during the Giant Bomb podcast, speaking with launchers Patrick Klepek, Grubb spoke about how under Square Enix, the idea of returning to Deus Ex franchise for Eidos was not an option. Now the Square is out of the picture, returning to Deus Ex is something Embracer might or may even be excited about. Deus Ex is one of the larger IPs it picked up in the acquisition after all. So there is opportunity here. Scott and Jeff's talking about it. You never quite know. I think there's rumblings kind of going on that we might see another Deus Ex title, and it's been long overdue. It's something that we've been kind of waiting for in the wind, wondering, just because we've seen the decline of stealth games and stuff like that, but it had this ability to kind of go in both ways, right? Like you can play the Panther, but you can kind of go in guns blazing too, the opportunities if you want to do that. But
I've recently learned more about that. The last Deus Ex, the boss fights were what's the word? They were given out to another studio to finish up.
Yes, yeah.
Outsourced. They outsourced the boss fights, and that's
so
why
weird,
some of the decision making just didn't happen, or became irrelevant. It doesn't matter how you go in through a certain way, you're gonna have to have a gunfight. I would like to see them kind of work on the entire project this time.
Well, so the thing from absolutely, of course, but how do they tackle
unless you
the
get
next
FromSoft on the boss fights?
Oh man, no, please don't.
I don't know
that.
if any company has ever
play
done
the
better.
game. Don't do that to me. They'll shut me down. It'll be so hard. Will they reboot the reboot again, Scott, or do they take off after the last game and kind of, or do they just work on here's a whole other new Deus Ex project and kind of, do we get Adam Jensen back, or we go to a whole other side character kind of thing?
Oh, you really could move it around, but I would like to go back to Adam Jensen, but just for another chapter, something new.
Yeah, I think we gotta. Yeah, I don't think you can reboot the series by any means. You just have to reinvigorate how it works and introduce something new within the world. What's the new tragic kind of event that's happening, taking over the space?
Maybe get Keanu Reeves to make an appearance.
Maybe, yeah.
That'd be a beautiful blend of universes.
Oh, dude, wouldn't that be something else? Do they? They could, honestly. There is an opportunity here to kind of take it back a little bit and kind of switch it into a cyberpunk atmosphere.
When I was playing Cyberpunk, I had an eye out for Adam Jensen and Hideo Kojima, because I know he's
dude, Kojima just pops up. Hello. Oh man.
Yeah, he's hanging around in a bar. And you're like,
Norman Reedus shows up with his baby. It's all kinds of things.
The Kojima verse just gets wider every day.
Okay, now here, welcome to the show. Side tangent, dude. What do you think Kojima's doing next?
Oh, I have no idea. I just hope that he himself understands what he's doing.
Nobody understands what's going on.
I think that's his grapple.
It's such a weird thing, man. I still haven't been back to Metal Gear Solid 5 in a while. I keep looking at it. It's still on my home screen. I'm like,
I was talking to somebody yesterday about the Phantom Pain, and we were noting the similarities that I share with the Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
Except I still have my hand. And yeah.
Well, Scott, let's get into what Sony's up to. It looks like Sony is gauging interest on PlayStation NFTs. Let's go to David again over at PSU. A survey presented to Evo attendees asked people what they think about NFTs, specifically what kind of NFTs they might be more interested in? Here was a tweet sent out to Wario64, well known in the Twitter space. It said, "Hey, Wario64, a special PlayStation Quest at Evo is asking players about what gaming NFTs they want to see from PlayStation. It had, looks like a couple options, but we only see 3. Evo branded, favorite music artists, favorite esports players / teams. The survey was shared on Twitter and immediately was hit with backlash from players, especially considering the recent announcement of digital collectibles. I think that was the biggest. Yo, you guys came right out and said digital collectibles, not NFTs. And now here they are scratching the surface of, hey, there's could be an opportunity here. We know PlayStation's looking at it, dude. They got to be looking at it. We know Xbox is probably doing the same thing. Who knows what Nintendo's up to? But there are people that are taking a look at the space and going, maybe there is an opportunity to kind of integrate this somehow, right? The PlayStation stars, however, don't seem related in this case. The Nico Partners senior analyst Daniel Ahmad recently points out that the digital collectibles can be something other than an NFT. The tweet from Daniel said, this isn't related to PlayStation stars in this case. Digital collectibles is just a term that is used interchangeably with NFTs. So NFTs are definitely a collectible item, but I don't think the whole NFT space is clicking right now with PlayStation. And that's not what PlayStation, I think, is even doing with their digital collectibles or their stars program is what they have envisioned, right? So it's definitely curious to see where PlayStation is lying and what their feedback was, because we all know right now, Scott, the gaming space is not taken too kindly to NFTs.
No. Well, it makes me wonder. There was this noted. There's no option to decline or to say I don't want NFTs or anything like that. Yeah, this survey only had positive answers in it, which is just curious because I think that's a way of limiting kind of the backlash. But the backlash is a normal response. That's just as valid.
Absolutely, right? It lets you understand where your customers and clients are coming from. So we'll keep an eye out what PlayStation is up to, but it's interesting to see them kind of putting feelers out there, Scott. We'll see. But
do you think Sony does what Nintendo don't?
Oh,
maybe Nintendo will not have NFTs. I don't know.
Dude, I don't see Nintendo. Here's the thing. NFT market.
They'll get to NFTs in 2030 after it's all over.
The NFT market is geared to the Gen Z audience and a more mature audience in a sense. I think I would call it. It just as in like an age group, right? Because you got to be able to attach your MetaMask
Gen
wallet.
Zers are younger than I.
Well, but they're growing up with this space. That's the thing, right? So they're getting geared towards the Gen Z and having them ready to, because they're in the TikToks, they're in this, they're in that, they're in so many different social spaces that's kind of where a lot of this is starting to head. So I'm curious to see where PlayStation lines up in the next couple of years with NFTs. Putting feelers out there already, I think, is a little premature in the space because I don't think it's quite ready. There's a lot of backlash, obviously, kind of hitting the market. There definitely is an NFT bro culture at times, Nate. You're definitely right there. But there's also other spaces too, right? I think it's just a matter of finding that right space that feels comfortable. But dude, there's a couple Twitter spaces I was in. I was like, I'm out. I am not sticking around for this conversation. Yeah, it's a funny space to be a part of, but there's a lot of good to be coming out of it, and there's a lot of skepticism, I think, right now as well. But dude, let's get into what Marvel's Avengers is up to, because here's one that keeps coming back, and I'm just. Yeah. Marvel's Avengers responds to fan criticism of its recent updates. This comes from Greg Hill over at CBR.com. Dude, Marvel's Avengers, something we haven't talked about in a very long time, and it's probably with a good reason. The developer behind Marvel's Avengers issues a response to recent fan complaints criticizing the game's repetitive characters and skin re-releases. The developer of the action brawler, dude, believe me,
this is something I wasn't even aware of until it got brought up. Now there's re-releases,
dude. You're preaching to the choir here. Like every time I look at Twitter, I'm like, "There's another skin again. Here's another skin. Oh, I've seen that skin already." I'm like, "Come on!" Like it's just the developers of the action brawler Marvel's Avengers have responded to recent fan criticism of its creative decisions. The game's official Twitter posted to say that the studio is listening to fan concerns about many responded negatively to exclusive Iron Man skin being re-released. This skin replicates the Iron Man armor used in the Iron Man 3 film and was recently made available again as a welcome gift to new players who picked up Marvel's Avengers for PlayStation Plus. I just saw this the other day. I was like, come on. Here's a quote over on Twitter. "We hear you." Questioning that one. End quote. The tweets read, quote, "For transparency, with the influx of new players on PlayStation Plus, we wanted to give them an opportunity to earn a popular MCU outfit right away, and the outfit inspired by Marvel Studios' Iron Man 3 is a fan favorite." End quote. A follow-up tweet reassured fans that new content is on the way. Dude, the only new content we ever see is just skins. That's
yeah, don't worry.
problem.
We'll have a couple color variants of that.
Man, it's so.
Oh, it seems like it's such a drag, and this is the only thing that seems to be memorable about this game now.
Well, some fans decried that the re-release as a sign of the game was dead and were unimpressed with the studio was recycling content. Dude, it's not a good thing. The constant gameplay updates, there aren't any really. There's nothing new and exciting. There's no reason to jump back. I don't remember last time I've been back in Marvel's Avengers, and when it first announced, I was like, man, I'm gonna be here for years. That ended real fast, like super fast, and it's really disappointing because they had something at the ground to get started and to really take it forward, but the problem was the lack of content to carry it forward, and that was the biggest problem, right? Instead, all we get is new skins. Dude, they got no problems dropping new skins and selling you new skins. Here's another one. Go buy this one. Oh, you don't have enough in-game currency? Go buy some. Go pay for some more tokens and get your. Oh, all right. I can't do it anymore, Scott. Let's move on.
Oh, just wait till those costumes are NFTs instead of.
Dude, it's coming.
Costumes.
I guarantee you it's coming. We're changing, I think, away from the battle pass system and the loot boxes. And I think that's how we're going to start seeing some of this stuff. I don't think it's meant for every game, but it's funny. So I was listening to something today, and they said that Minecraft's whole scenario with NFTs, they said it's not that they're not doing it. They're just not allowing the company who was going to do it because they will do it when they are ready. And then they'll own that space, right? So yeah, it's only a matter of time before it comes to Minecraft, and that's one of the biggest games around. There's money that can be made, right? Take a look at it from a business perspective. I'm like, yo, this is nuts.
Yeah, but from a business perspective, it treats me like a battery. And
wow,
I don't like that. Some form of poison in my video games.
The biggest thing for me is that I don't want to be treated like a number, right? There's companies that I've worked for where I felt like I was a number. And that's not what I want. I definitely don't want that to be in our industry as well. And that there has to be a certain care taken with a lot of this stuff. And I think it's so early that they're trying to figure out the landscape, so we don't get another Battlefront experience where you have to grind out hours, right, in order to get some really good characters.
If it was monetarily viable, I would have expected EA to try and put it into something. Yeah, so far.
It's only a matter of time, I think, before EA.
NHL 2026. The puck is an NFT.
But you can't play without the pucks. Yeah, that's dude. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's an interesting time, dude. I love being in this time frame right now because it is so interesting.
How long until video games are all gotcha systems, like mobile? Kind of. Oh, you've used your energy today.
Yeah. Pay for more sparks, right?
Yeah.
Dude, there's a lot of those mobile games, and they make a killing because well, we didn't get to today's topic. We'll probably carry it over tomorrow, but there's a mobile game we need to talk about tomorrow because there's a lot to talk about there. Scott, let's wrap it up today. There is a game announcement. Dude, this one looks sweet. What do we got?
Nexon has released a new teaser trailer for their upcoming third-person co-op action RPG shooter, The First Descendant. With fresh gameplay and outstanding Unreal Engine 5 graphics on display, developed by Nexon Games. This is very market speak. The latest teaser gives gamers a mouth-watering taste of the action-packed trailer to be revealed later this month at Gamescom 2022. The First Descendant is a free-to-play cooperative looter shooter. You play as a descendant with mysterious inherited powers and fight to protect humanity against alien invaders. It almost sounds like X-Men that way.
Oh, kind of, right? We also have a game out today. What is that?
We have Tyrant's Blessing, and that is on Linux, Mac, and PC operating systems, and the Switch.
There we go. Scott, that's going to wrap up today's show. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. And until tomorrow, I'm Drew, that's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.